Before we start, big shout out to our sponsors, Foreign Attitude. If it ain't foreign, it's boring. So if you want to clothe the line that you feel good in, you look good in, come shop with us. Foreignattitude.com. We're not defined by society standards. We are back with another episode of Expert at Feeling. And I got a phenomenal guest today. We gonna get her personality out today. But yeah, my guest today, I honestly grown to love this woman. She is just so dope. She's an activist. I'm the artist. She's always looking out for me since day one. Before we was seeing each other in person, we was on the phone or via social media. And she just dope. So without further ado, I want to introduce y'all to my friend, the activist, Tanya Ward. They all fake clap for you, don't trip. In they household, they clap. Do you feel me? But how you been, man? How you been?
Busy.
Busy?
Super.
I feel it. You are always on the go. Like always on the go. Even like your new venture right now. Well, you've been doing it for a minute. Banana pudding, filthy rich banana pudding. How that's been?
It's good. I mean, it's kind of hard scaling up without a team, but it's a really in-depth learning process.
You know it's crazy. Because I always felt that way. Like team, group economics, it is big. Cause me being an entrepreneur, I've been stagnant because I try to wear all the hats, and I'm not good with all the hats. I'm not.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't have order. So it's like I'm just going here, and there, and I didn't scale, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely could see that. But I remember one time you were selling it, and you told me like, "You think I'm doing this for fun? Like I really make money off of this."
Yeah.
And I didn't fathom because you told me a number, but I was like, "Nah." And that is crazy. Like I always told myself, I always told people, I told the homies, my mom was like the ultimate hustler. Like she is a hustler. Like the women I know are hustlers, right? I feel like I am a grinder. I'm an introvert, so I don't like to be in people's face. But I would grind. If you need me to go do something, I do it for hours, and then I produce that way.
I'm a social introvert, but I think that naturally, I just don't really like when I hear people talking about being introverts. It's kind of like, I mean, I don't think everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur.
Facts,
And that's like
facts.
super pushed nowadays to um not work for anyone, and that's cool. I get like the concept, but
Right.
honestly, it's, I think that what should be pushed is just to like not adopt your role in life from somebody else. But you know, if working for someone, and some people working for someone is in a lot of ways for them more beneficial than working for themselves.
It
You know,
definitely is. Definitely.
as far as like being conducive to where they trying to get in life and what they want. Like, so you just kind of gotta like pick,
Some people
tailor
need
it
order.
to you. Exactly.
Some people, it's like, I like to get up and have my life structured and get a paycheck for doing what I love to do.
Right. And just like somebody else's business and working for it, and possibly having like a 401k and things that situate you and your kids or your family,
Right,
like are
right.
best for you. Like, you know, but when I hear people talking about being an introvert, it's I feel like that's in a lot of ways adopted, like based on like you know, just maybe experience, but humans are naturally so, like, we're
I,
social creatures.
it's funny because I always said that, right? As far as we crave connection, as much as like when I talk to women and they super independent and I don't need a man, I say, fam, you not needing one is hurting you more because we need like a team. We need a team regardless. And a lot of women is catty. I've been with my homeboys since we was knee high. Like, and my best friend, she be like, bruh, I wish like I was like that. I wish that women was like that. And it's not. So I said that to say we crave, like, this is like we're on this earth to interact, to build together. You feel me?
I really do just think it's based on like experience though, because yeah, we are meant to be connected and interacting with each other.
I feel like, it's crazy because I feel like I can't.
And when women say like I don't need a man, it's usually a woman who has experience, the fuckery and the bullshit, and that's what they're saying they don't need. But people, we cut off our nose to spite our face. Like, we go far, we go like overboard with trying to protect ourselves from shit we scared of. And so either they experienced the fuckery or they watched somebody, in a woman in their life experiencing, and they like, never, not me, bitch, please. Like, and then they get really hyper independent. And then it's also nothing wrong with being super able to take care of yourself, in a lot of ways for a woman, so it's just, I don't know, it's a balance, I guess, but you kind of got to like really pay attention to like, what's influencing.
Yeah. I definitely feel like like how you say the experience or they watch somebody. Me personally, in my past relationships, I was a side nigga on purpose, right? Because nobody could tell me what to do. Like, you got a nigga, so if you see me over here with her, you can't say nothing. You feel me? But on the flip side, that tarnished how I looked at relationships, because I'm like, everybody cheat. So why would I get in one? Make it make sense. You feel me? It tarnished it to where I ain't been in a relationship in years, like 10 plus. Like, I had one, it was only 3 months. Like, I haven't been in a relationship, but that's my own doing. Like how you say women go through something and they see it and they like, nah. And that's hard for me to get out of that. I want to get out of it. You feel me? Because I'm longing for it. But experience is what made me introvert. That experience, prison, because going there made me expect from other people, and I got let down. So it's like, I don't even like y'all no more like that. You feel me? When I got out, I had resentment. So people see like, you passionate, you doing this, you doing that, you hit the ground running. It was really resentment, and it was like, fuck you, I'm about to show y'all. You feel me? That's what it was. Like, honestly, that hatred fueled my fire and passion to be like,
yeah, but when you was a side nigga, then you sought people who fit the criteria to be a part of that. And then now that you want a steadfast, meaningful relationship, if you can get up out of that other, belief system, then you gonna attract people who fit the criteria of being your woman.
I'm picky
and
as hell.
Not having a side nigga.
I'm picky,
Like
boy. Like, I feel like I got out of that belief system. Honestly, like, I could decipher. Like, I see it, I'd be like, nah.
You picky or you got standards?
But somebody just said that today, right? Because I was like, I'm picking. It was like, it's okay with having standards. It's both. Like, I'm picky, but it's like I don't be budging sometimes. Like, I don't budge, and they be looking at me like, you go, your day, your time go come. And I'm like, nah. I want what I want. I deserve what I desire. I always say that. You feel me? But yeah. I want to talk about your upbringing, because that is the meat of the potatoes of you. That is like, I feel like that your past guided you to where you are right now. It's in a different direction, but it was a focal point in your life. So let me hear about it, or let them hear about it.
I mean, what do you mean my upbringing? Like,
your upbringing, how you grew up, where you grow up, because your mindset, you're an activist right now. That is like, all right, so she took me, where's my camera at? She took me to a Black Lives Matter. First off, we met and we used to talk on social media, right? And then I believe the first time we met, it was at a film festival. and it was like about something about prison in film, right? And I got a movie on YouTube called Wild Roots, and was there we finally met like, oh, it's lit, blase, blase. But then after that, you took me to the Black Lives Matter event, and they showed the movie with Nate Parker and
American Skin.
American Skin. That's like really one of my favorite movies. But they said Nate was on there talking. He was like, we all have the same mission, but we just have different avenues to get the same result, right? And he was like, they are the activists and I'm the artist. I paint my picture and my awareness through the screen, and they do it through the streets. And I feel like that's our relationship, especially because she will push you. Like, it's nothing like having a woman in your life that push you to your greatness. You feel me?
All right.
And I feel like they need to know your background to understand why you're so passionate about what you do now.
My grandfather was like a big humanitarian.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and from Memphis to St. Louis to L.A. So in my hood, which my grandfather owned a business in since before I was born. Just all me and my cousins grew up in the hood, like in this business. My grandfather had a dry cleaners on 28th Street in Montclair. Right there by Adams and Crenshaw, up the street from Johnny's Pastrami. And so I got to, my grandfather had a nonprofit in the 60s where he would give shoes out and shit to, just the less fortunate.
Right.
And it was called Aunts and Uncles. And so I would always growing up see like pictures. You know how you intrigued by shit to do with your parents from when they was little.
Right,
and you just looking at pictures, and I'm seeing my mom like help my grandfather with the shit. And then in my lifetime, I'm watching my grandfather, people who I went to elementary with and shit who had parents that, may have been on drugs or just struggling. I would watch my grandfather like give them clothes and just like always like on some helping shit.
Right.
And heavily involved in local politics. My uncle is Bernard Parks. So even before he ran for police chief and shit like that, actually my grandfather and him owned the dry cleaners together initially. And so just watching him move in local politics, having friends, what's her name? What's the one who that big Auntie Maxine?
Oh.
and people like that being like his personal friends, and just always hearing him speak about like the goings-ons of the community in a way that was like not a dead-end conversation, but like how to help. Him piling all me and my homies before we was homies on a big ass school bus, taking us to Raiders games and Magic Mountain and just shit like that. Just always trying to like help.
That is dope. All right, so I wasn't gonna say this into the end, right? But this summer, I'm about to start a Big Brother program for single parent homes, ages 9 through 13, right?
Much needed.
Yeah, it's definitely needed because my boy, he's a counselor, a youth counselor, but he was like, bro, once they 15, 16, they already got their mind made up, right? And me personally, I was like, nah.
I don't agree.
You feel me? I was like, nah. But he, he was doing his paperwork. He go see him, and he like, bruh, they if they gone, they gone. So me, because I grew up on the fence. I wasn't committed to nothing. I dabbled in everything. You feel me? So I felt like if somebody that I was into, that I looked up to, they could have snatched me and veered me away. You feel me?
Yep.
But I'm going to start that. From his statistics, I'm about to just snatch them before they even could have that mindset. You feel me? Because I used to sit in prison and be like, damn, I wish somebody would have showed me that it was other ways in life. Because sitting there, I felt like I had a bird's eye view on the streets. Like the homies would call me and tell me what's going on, and I'd be like, bro, y'all go wreck yourself. Like I felt like I knew it was around the corner, and they was walking around the corner. Like I had the bird's eye view.
Right.
But
that's because in jail you fasting from everything.
Right. That's what I was about to say.
That's how niggas find religion, find themselves, and all of that, because you fasting from all the shit in between you and your God conscience. So you there, you gonna have a
I,
bird's
d-
eye
I,
view
I
or what you
definitely feel
call.
that. I definitely
Yeah.
became comfortable in my own skin in there to where I didn't want or needed acceptance from outer source. Like I validated myself once I went there. And then I started seeing other people that was new coming in there. They trying to use me for validation for them. Like they are boasting and bragging. And in my head, I'm like, I don't care about none of that, bro. I don't care about the war stories. I don't care about the money. Like, because all of that, you are right here with me. Like
And
all
you
of
can
that.
only spend the limit on commissary.
Exactly. Like we all used to say that you had all this money, but we both going 180, 220 at the store. How much more money you got? Cause I'm a match that like
Right.
every month. You feel me?
Right.
So yeah, I definitely feel like that is
Even
dope.
though you could put money on other people's books to go
We
in.
did that. So we definitely had packages in other people's name.
Right. Right.
Some people had restitution, so you
Right.
couldn't get yours.
Right.
But when you say going to the Raiders game, because I never went to a professional game until I came home, and it was my boy that took me. But to have that as a youth, to have that experience, like I was thinking today after we got off the phone, I didn't know the word entrepreneur and what it meant till I was 20 years old and I was in jail, right? My daughter at 4 years old know what entrepreneurs is because I am teaching her, I am instilling that in her. You feel me? But to have that, like your grandfather picking y'all up, taking y'all on the bus, that's a different experience. And I want to give that to the youth, to the less fortunate, to the single parent homes. That's why I'm starting my Big Brother program.
Right.
You feel me? Because I feel like it's dope. So tell me, what is your why? Like, why do you have this burning passion to change the minds, the trajectory, the outlook of the streets?
Because anytime you discover something, if you about something, you want to share it. It's like you discover fire. It's like Eureka! Look what I have found. You want to share it with other people initially. Just based off the excitement, and then next you go to thinking about, oh, it could keep them warm too, or it could cook their food or whatever,
Right.
with this fire. But I really just be like trying to create a model of like what I know helped me, and then I try to share it with people who kind of came from where I come from, not neglecting the fact that we individuals, because I don't really like to blanket niggas, but just to share, like, this might be able to help. So in my healing circles, I'm just thinking, we gonna have a thought-provoking conversation, because that's what worked for me. Then nobody tell me you should be doing this, or you should do self-help group shit, or you should not in a sense that like it's gonna change your whole life, but it did, just from being exposed to it and introduced to it. So I've kind of tried to create a model of what helped my life, really trying to remember in like the chronological order that I did things, so that I could recreate that for somebody else. So in my healing circles, I include all the things that I like on a whim was exposed to: hypnotherapy, neuro-linguistic programming, and then I just try to niggify it and translate it to my niggas.
It's crazy. I've recently found that out, like that you study hypnosis. I recently found that out. And that was like, it's crazy, right? For one, that's crazy in itself. Like I was like, what? But for two, I used to think, I was like, dang, if somebody could hypnotize me and change my mindset to where I have no limitations, like, how we have affirmations. I am rich, I am wealthy, money flows to me easily, frequently, and abundantly. Like we have affirmations to pour into it so we can start believing it, because they say the subconscious don't differentiate reality and fiction, right? So I was like, if somebody could hypnotize me to believe that I'm rich and I could produce whatever and I have no limitation, because it's hard to unlearn and relearn. Like we are conditioned, and it is so hard to brainwash, wipe it out, and then reprogram us. Like it's hard. I can't lie.
That's how I got into it. It was this program at the Urban League, and they was helping people get jobs, but I already had a job. And I had like been out of the prison probably like a few years, But I was still moving around. I still was shooting my shot and doing all type of shit. I was still on parole and whatever. But I was my boyfriend at the time, he was going there, and I guess they was like having like some law of attraction type class blended with a class that was segueing them into like the construction field. And so he would be telling me about the law of attraction part. And I was just really interested initially at the fact that they was talking about like the power of language and how it could shape your world, and be careful what you say because you got to live in that, and thinking like we got that much power, we could say some shit and like it could create our world. Because in my hood, I'm seeing the toughest of my G homies, and I'm able to see that at the end of the day, like we don't got no power, because when the police pull up, niggas better fall in line. Now you got homies that's gon' no respect the police, like get the fuck up out of here, bitch, and all of that. But for the most part, niggas is compliant as fuck, more than you ever see them in the setting minus the police.
Right.
In their toughest form. So I just was interested in that. So I started going just for that part of it. And I don't know. I remember it was a point I wanted to make too to something you had said. What did you say last?
We was talking about hypnosis or
So in this class, at the end of each of the class days, it was a white lady there named Mary Sargent, and she was a hypnotherapist. And I remember, she would offer sessions at the end, and I'm like, I ain't fuck with this white bitch. What the fuck she gonna do for me? I done been in placement, juvenile hall, and all the therapies and all the shit, and I'm just like, what can a white motherfucker really, do to assist me in my circumstance? But I went just on a whim one day. She like, just come. I went because I actually liked her. Like, during class, her explanation of theory of mind and breaking down how we got hella blind spots and breaking down subconscious mind, and in a way that it was applicable to my nigga life.
Right.
I went to see her, and she like, so what do you want to change, or where do you feel stopped or paused that in life?
If you got a game night to attend and you want to be the one that turn it up, grab 3 Shots You're Out at 3shotsyourout.com. Last one with a shot wins. It's litty, it's engaging, and it gets you faced it if you lose. Grab it at 3shotsyourout.com.
And I'm like, man, I want to stop cussing so much. So I work with her, and I noticed that so first of all, you talk to him. You talk to the hypnotherapist for about 30 minutes, like an hour session. Talk to him for about 30 minutes. You share what you want to work on or what's up with you in your life. And then, they put you in the hypnotic state. But it was nothing like stage hypnosis, like people think, like she could make me cluck like a chicken or some shit. It's not that.
I was curious.
Nah, it's not that. I'm laying there. She like stare here at this spot in the ceiling, and you can hear noises outside of the room, drown them out. Just zoom into my voice, feel the chair on your back and butt and shit like that, right? So we think that those things are simple for us to do. Look here, feel here, hear there. But the truth is, it overstimulate us. That's all the senses: touch, auditory, visual, and all of that. So it overloads. So I always try to break it down in a way like people could get it. But it's like, just imagine your mind as a circle, and then at the top of the circle, and it's your mind, not your brain. At the top is 12%. That's your conscious mind. That's what we talking to each other with right now.
Right.
And then the 8% at the bottom is your subconscious mind. That whole big ass piece. That's what we really operating with. So and then from 0 to 8, we take everything in as absolute truth. So just imagine a line at the top signifying this 12% versus this 88%.
Right.
And so whenever somebody tell us something, it just come in and it goes straight down to our subconscious mind at 88%. from 0 to 8 years old. Oh, your daddy coming to get you. We know the nigga ain't coming, but we believe it every time.
Right.
We believe in Santa Claus. We believe everything from about 0 to 8 years old. It differentiate between the person, the individual. But at about 8, that line in between that 12 and 88, it turned into like a little block, and it's something called critical mind. So then we start to talk with this, and then we say, hey, critical mind, go down there in subconscious mind and check to see if that's true. That's why, so up here where we talking is willpower and all that shit you talk a lot about. I'm gonna do this and I'm just independent and and all of that, but it don't always last, because we going off of some shit from 0 to 8 is mostly what's down there, and we really like just compounding on top of like that belief system of a little ass kid, decisions we made then. So that's why when we trying to I want to lose weight, critical mind, go down there and check to see if I like salad or ice cream. From 0 to 8, what you like more? Ice cream. From 0 to 8, what you like more? Exercising or chilling and having fun. So it willpower don't necessarily win with that. So that's why people talk about recreating your belief systems. So while she talking to me, when I told her that I don't want to curse that much no more, I noticed that over the next course of the week, I went back to her when we went back to class, and I'm like, man, that shit did not work. I'm still cussing like a motherfucker. I still cuss to this motherfucking day a lot. Yeah,
I hear.
And look, on accident and purpose. So she was like, well, what were you thinking, when you were cursing? And I'm like, man, every time I cursed, I was, just like, fuck, I cussed again. And she said, and that's the beginning of it. Like, that's what hypnosis could do for you. It make you hyper aware. The main ingredient is that you want to do it. So that's how hypnotherapy is different than stage hypnosis, the clucking like a chicken. It's like the main ingredient is that you want to do it. You are willing and eager to make the change. And that's what I like about it. So it made me hyper aware that I was cursing. And then she asked me, why do you want to stop cursing? And I told her, because people always tell me, like, you curse too much and you too aggressive. And she told me, she said, well, I don't want to work on that then, because you don't want to stop cursing. Other motherfuckers want you to stop cursing. And that's their problem. And you're going to need all that aggression for the work that you're getting into. Trying to change lives and save and spare Black life. And gang, you need to speak the language of your people. Now, when you want to stop cursing, then you could come back. But I ain't going to make you try to help you stop cursing.
How many years ago was this?
2012. Yep. But that's what I like about neuro-linguistic programming and NLP, is that it's behavior modification, but based on what the fuck you want for yourself. You go in there and you tell a motherfucker what to tell and help you to dig up and figure out from your subconscious mind that you don't need no more. That ain't, like they always say nowadays, that ain't serving you no more. So that's what I like about it, that it's me telling you what to say to me in hypnosis.
So you've been, what was the turning point? What was the pivot to where you was like, I want to change the streets?
Well, like, that just go back to like me talking about what assisted me, and probably the identical replica of myself would be another Black gang member. So that's my target population, because I'm that target population.
Was it a moment though, like, you know what? Because me personally, it was, I want to say it was in prison, right? I found out it was a lie. I felt like everything the streets offered, mind you, like me growing up and how you grew up was too different. Like y'all had structure, y'all had
it was probably the end of structure.
But y'all had hierarchies, y'all had big homies that been doing this. It was kids raising kids with me. Mm-hmm. Like they was 2 years older than me. Like, you feel me? And if they said fuck a bitch, I took it to heart, but I didn't know they was really pillow talking over there. You feel me? Like we listen to music and we taking that like, oh, that's how you be a gangster right there. You feel me? So we was wild.
But that go back to hypnosis too, because that's so how people think that like to be in hypnosis is to be like this melodic
I for
thing.
sure thought.
It's not. It's to overstimulate. Look here, touch here, and overstimulate. And who is always overstimulated but niggas? I gotta watch my homies. I gotta listen for this. I gotta watch the police. So we always in a state of hypnosis. That's why we live our lives through rap songs. You know, now when I was still young, you know, my G homies was more influential to me than the music per se. But the music was a little bit different too. You know,
Right,
I mean,
right.
it wasn't as
I'm gonna kill an op for
Yeah.
real quick. Yeah.
I mean, it was shit talking like a motherfucker. It was talking about killing and doing shit to niggas, but it not at this level. But yeah, we always in a state of hypnosis. Black people, like that PTSD thing is real. So
No, I definitely believe it. Cause even when I hear metal grinding, like lockers getting pushed, like it's somebody fighting, or bunk beds getting pushed because somebody fighting it between the bunk beds, I snap. I be like, bro, like, and that's PTSD. But I said that to say that was my turning point in there, because I felt like everybody felt me and it was a lie. But then on the streets, I was gone for 6 years. I come back and nothing changed but the buildings. You feel me? In the landscape. But as far as what people was doing, nothing changed. And I was like, damn. So my turning point for me to be the activist through digital, through media, it was, for me, it was that. To see nothing change, I was like, bruh, my whole purpose now is to liberate financially and mentally our people. Like, that was my whole purpose. And I wrote books first. Nobody read books like that. I ain't gonna say no, because I read, you feel me? But as a culture, as the mass, it's true to this day. They said it back then, they said it today. You feel me? You hide it, that's where you go hide it at. They'll never find it.
yeah,
But so I'm like, all right, they don't read. I'm about to start putting visuals out there.
right.
And one thing, right, I knew I was on the right path. I was doing Wild Roots. And a homie, he deep in the streets. He got 4 kids. But I'm frustrated at the homies because we filming, but they meeting up like this they first time seeing each other. Like, fam, we got work to do. Like, y'all buddy, do that on your own time. You feel me? And I'm pressing to the point that I want to call phase. Like, we about to go outside and a couple of us about to catch a fade. But he put me to the side. He put me in the kitchen. He was like, you good? I'm like, nah, bruh, I'm not. He was like, man, I just want to let you know that this right here, you saving my life. Because if I wasn't here filming, I'd be in the street somewhere.
Right.
You feel me? And ain't no telling what'll happen. And I got 4 kids. He was like, so I want to let you know. Like, he was giving me my flowers. And that was like the switch. I was like, I got to do this right here. Because I don't go to funerals no more. Like, if somebody that I'm at the repast, the last time I see you is not going to be in a casket. You feel me? So I was like, I have to do this right here. I have to show them, because I was used to wish that it was another way. Somebody showed me, this is how I'm going to show them. Like, I put our kids in the movies, homies, everything. I put different hoods that really don't really get along, but you here with me. So if you trip, then I'm on your ass, because it's the respecting. You feel me? If I bring you over here, then you disrespecting me. But to say all that, we could segue into the Nipsey situation.
Yeah, I feel like that's when I kind of started deciding that I have to center Black gang members, because after I went to school for hypnotherapy, then I went to school for community planning and economic development, and then after I graduated that, I did like almost 18 months of a social justice program internship where I was working as a case manager for whole person care, and with a forensics treatment facility, working with reentries and people with a history of mental health issues and homelessness, and on Skid Row. And then I started working for Second Call, and being a case manager there. But I was kind of initially, I just wanted to create something that could assist Black people as a whole. And then as I got involved in the work, when I saw how much them motherfuckers don't consider black gang members, then I started to like, as I began to call them out on that,
Right,
it
right.
just made me more and more eager to create something specifically for black gang members. Cause in the social justice nonprofit space, it's hella Hispanic objectified, hella centering them. It's real political,
Right, right.
so they gonna choose them because they numbers is bigger and on the rise. Um, and I want any oppressed or fucked over group of motherfuckers to get what they got coming
Right, right.
good at the same level that they had what's coming bad. But I'm focused on my people,
As you should.
and I am interested in black and brown unity. I feel like I'm more interested in an effective way than the average person because I'm trying to really focus on niggas so that we able to even have a conversation with another group of people.
Right, right.
And so I just remember I was working for a brown led org that was started by a black person. That's a lot of the orgs in South LA was begun by who really has been mostly influential in the civic and civil rights movements and shit is black people, but then
Right.
it get passed on to, like I said, for political reasons, Hispanic people. And they just wasn't including enough niggas for me. And I called them out on it. And they start trying to like press back. And so what I did is organize all of their people that were working with them, all the other people in my cohort, like about 28 of them was brown. And they was like, we're standing in solidarity with Tanya that there aren't enough black people. And I had like 28 of they fucking employees not going to work.
Oh, that's deep.
And so that was then they fired me. They let everybody else come back to work. They named CD Tech, by the by. And they over here by Trade Tech. They run the community planning and economic development program over there. And they speak really well and know how to make it seem like they ain't anti-black, but they ain't fucking with niggas, but they get money for black and brown. But they let everybody else go back to work, fired me. But again, I was an intern, so I wasn't protected by any employee law, so they got away with that. But that was the beginning of March 2019. And then March 31st, Nip got killed. And then I just immediately hopped into action. And by April the 6th, we had spent 2 days together. I called AD up and I told him, let's get some niggas from different hoods together on Slauson and Crenshaw. And kind of try to get a different listening from the media. They got us over there looking like savages when really we in pain. And it's people from different hoods, which is a beautiful thing. But if we underline that and bolden the fact that it's different people from different hoods all feeling the same way about one crip, it would be great. So we met for 2 days, and then on the third day we was on Slauson and Crenshaw and we did the march. Did I get, credit? Probably not, because it's a male dominated occupation and niggas gonna hop in the forefront. And still the credit that they're saying I shouldn't even be speaking up about, because it's not about the credit, that same credit that they took.
Right.
That ain't that important when I speak about it for myself as being a person who had the idea. And but it is important because then I would have got the resources to better continue the conversation.
Definitely.
And I'm not saying it flopped because of that, or it kind of died down because of that, but it died down because the motherfucker who had the most fire under their ass to actually make that happen, which was me and AD, didn't get the resources to continue it. It was the other people, the people who got invited to the shit, really.
Was it pushback with that in the beginning? Before y'all actually had to walk?
Well, we only met we literally met 2 days. Like I was up north. I was in Oakland when Nipsey got killed. And I had woke up and I seen that I had woke up to a gang of text messages from people, because I know the nigga in real life.
Right.
And so they texted me like, that nigga Nipsey dead. But when I looked on social media, they was still saying, we hope he makes it and he got shot. They wasn't saying he was dead yet. And so I'm like, damn. So I drove back home because I was in a rental. I drove back home, and on my way, I just was thinking, and I called AD. I'm like, nigga, how we always be saying, like, if we could get along and nigga,
Right.
we participated at the level we did, we need to figure out how we could like transfer that energy, nigga. And he was like, no, I'm on the run. Police just kicked my bitch door in. I can't do none of that. I can't even go over there. And you know, the police out there. And I'm like, nigga, if they kicking your bitch door in, you're going to jail. And do you want to go on a good foot or like a regular old nigga? And so he eventually gave in. And by the time I got back, he was ready. And then I told Skip from Second Call, I'm like, do you still got the keys to Chuco's over there on Florence and West? He like, I got a meeting at the time you trying to get the keys. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't need you there. I just need you to open the motherfucking door, nigga. And then he, of course he stayed because Skip likes attention. But anyways, yeah, he stayed and he helped. He invited like vital people to the conversation. And then we made it happen in 2 days from there.
I feel like that was beautiful. Like every section, even like Compton, like I seen homies from Compton like just talk about it. Like everybody was like, dang, we should start. How you say it? How you word it? Because you don't say peace treaty. What you say again?
A non-aggression agreement?
A non-aggression agreement.
I got that from the homie from A-Trade. I was trying to come up with a word that, and I learned that in hypnosis, like, you know, to say words that people can mirror and they actually like accept. Niggas ain't really accepting peace, and we've been taught war. So, baby, Spike from A-Trade, he was like, we could call it a non-aggression agreement just because I kept saying, man, I just want it to be like if a nigga ain't fucking with you, don't fuck with them.
Right.
You see a nigga getting some food, leave him the fuck alone. But at all means, spare your life if you feel in danger. Now, I ain't out here not living in reality. Talking about, let's hold hands. I was telling niggas, like, I advise y'all look real happy to see each other and be friends outside of jail.
Right.
You know, niggas be killing the fuck out of each other on the street, but be friends as fuck in jail. But I told them, I wouldn't advise y'all to be getting high and drinking together and visiting each other hood. That's an accident waiting to happen.
Right.
Now, individually, y'all could, you feel me? But don't be trying to go for the gusto.
I definitely felt, because, you know, that is the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal for us. For us to be like back in the day when you used to have the barbecues and the water is going and kids is running and just black people being black people.
Yeah.
Like, that is the goal.
Mhm.
I don't even go to parties like that no more because
Hell
I'm
no.
like, bruh, I'm not playing around with the play around. Like, I'm not putting
And I
myself.
don't care how tough you are. On a whim, you could be your motherfucking ass up out of here.
Facts and fast. Like,
Yeah.
I don't play with that. But I commend you for that, because I remember you was like, bruh, I was there, I helped started it, I was the one that made the call, and they just leaving me out. I remember that, but I was like, this is dope, because when Nip died, mind you, Nip was big to the culture, like he was huge, and a lot of people wanted to do something, organize something, right? But I'm like, bro, if y'all ain't been doing it before, this go die out. This not gonna be y'all passion. Y'all go get me started and take away time from what I'm really doing. And I was like, nah. Like, a lot of people wanted to organize something. I was getting put.
But I don't think that that's true, that it would die out because of that. I feel like, and I don't feel like it's dead or it died out.
No, I'm talking about the people that wanted me to help organize some stuff. They not talking about it no more. You feel me? This is not their passion. Like, liberation for my people is my passion. So when I don't write, I'm conscious on the content I put out as far as web series, movies, because it's a message, but I'm not message driven. Because you gotta trick them. You gotta put the medicine in the candy. You feel me? We love to get entertained instead of educated. So I entertain them.
Yeah, it's easier.
But I put the medicine inside that entertainment. You feel me? But yeah, like the people that wanted to do stuff, they're not pushing that no more. But me, on the flip side, I'm debt free, credit score. Like, I'm pushing everything to be liberated, to where it's like, damn, where's my next coming from? No, we got the skills, we got the tools to do what we got to do. But I feel like it's significant, right? like people that don't know you, you got, I wouldn't say the voice, but you might have like to the streets because you've been through that. You've been through the ringer. And earlier I talked about being a woman in gang culture. You feel me? Because I feel like either you become a hood rat, you get slutted out by the homies, or you become masculine and you get hardened. But you told me a different story. You feel me? You said you had a boyfriend because I wanted to transition from you now and you being a woman in a relationship, loving on somebody, growing with somebody. But you was like, I've been that from the gate.
Yeah, I had a long term majority of my highly active gang banging years. I was in a relationship, the same relationship with one of my homies from my hood, and yeah, I was with him from 17 to 32, and we had about a 5 year break because I went to prison, and then he went to prison in my last year of prison. We both had went to the feds, but yeah, I wasn't running the same rat race as the homegirls, and in a totally humble and not judging way because it's promoted. Like I said, it's a male dominated occupation, and they promote that the homegirls are in large part for the entertainment and sexual
Activities.
interests of the homies. Now, that's even the homegirls who is a somebody per se from the hood that they known as an active homegirl or respected. But they be whores as fuck too and been pressured or maybe made to feel as though sometimes in a lot of senses that they owe the homies some pussy.
Right.
And that's just a real thing. Now, a lot of bitches ain't gonna admit that that's from a gang because they gonna swear, not me. And the homies know. And, and some of them don't fuck with the homies, in rare cases. But for the most part, the average homegirl, yeah, they made to feel like they owe the set and the homies some pussy. And they'll even say shit like, oh, you over there fucking with them whoop-de-whoop niggas?
Right.
You ain't gay to homie, you ain't fucking with the homie. And it be that. It be like you taking our pussy over there. And it's like, what, bitch? Like, but yeah. And then in gang culture, it's a humongous, from that aggression and that feeling like the homegirls belong to the set. And then too, it's a thing too that usually the homegirls, as tenacious as we could be sometimes in gangbanging, sometimes we be harder than the homies. A lot of times they loyalty to the set be more flimsy because when you do enter a romantic relationship, the man is the lead. So if you fuck with an enemy hood nigga, then he be dissing the set, and the homies are questioning your loyalty to the set. So I get it, but with that aggression of feeling like the homegirls belong to the set, it's a big ass fucking rape culture in gangs historically. Yeah, as fuck.
This is deep.
Yeah, in
It's
every
deep.
hood.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I've heard this. Like I said, I didn't grow up the traditional gang. Like my homies down there started their own and then just got big. You feel me? But to see that and to interact with other people, it's like I could see it. I could see it through parties. Like, you got the old school cassette tape, not cassette tapes, but the what is it? What was the tapes back in the day? Not the DVDs. No, the videos, the VCRs.
Oh, VHS?
Yeah, those. You got those parties though. You got parties on them that we could watch, and it was like, yeah.
You see a nigga muscle facing in the background watching the bitch that ain't even his bitch.
One nigga got his whole arm around her neck, like, nigga, this is your homegirl, fam. Chill. You feel me?
Right.
But yeah, man, it's deep. Yeah. I want to say, we know your why. What is the end result that you want to see?
Well, like you asked me, like when did I start feeling like I had to, like, I guess, center black gang members? It was then, like at the time that Nipsey got killed, when I had just gotten out of the
I was
relationship
just
with,
about to say your bad toxic
yeah,
relationship with the
CDT,
organization.
then it just made me not be willing to work for any nonprofit organization, period, because I don't fully align with what they own. And then I just, like I said, we be extreme. So I said, I'm just going to really center and be real specific to who I'm talking about. I'm
Right,
talking
right.
about black gangbangers. And you know, and I probably need to stop saying members and start saying bangers, because I'm really interested in who's still active. But yeah, I felt then like I had to center us, but now I don't feel like I have to do a motherfucking thing. And I don't believe in purposes and having a purpose and all of that, because whoever in charge, God, Buddha, Allah, I don't know, but my purpose, I feel like, is already fulfilled. If the person in charge or the being in charge say I could be here, my purpose already fulfilled, and I just don't feel like I have to do nothing. But I want to spend my time here, just having thought provoking interactions with people, and I do it through the healing
Right.
circles. And the end result is just to, like I said, provoke thoughts and recreate what helped me elevate, and
I,
that
de-
is, you know, the shit that we talked about.
I definitely been to one. It was at the beach, and it was a first. We wrote down, we wrote down things we want to get rid of. I
Mm-hmm.
believe, right?
The letting go moving
Yeah,
forward
and then
bonfire.
we threw it in the fire and let it burn. I remember you was like, I was a hater, like you was saying that, like, but for somebody to have that accountability, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like in the streets, street niggas is over emotional, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we won't admit that. Well, I ain't even gonna say we, because I'm removed from that. They won't admit that.
I'm sure you got a lot of
I
things you
think I
don't
think
admit.
I think I'm emotionally oppressed. Like they say I'm
Mhm.
emotionless, like really.
Mhm.
But they are over emotional and we want to admit it. And I'm like, bruh, to have accountability is bigger than, it says so much about your character. It's like for you to be accountable. So when you said that, like, I'm a hater, everybody love haters, but they would never admit that they're a hater. And that was deep for me. Like you
Mhm.
was like, I'm a hater. I don't want to be a hater no more. And you was explaining like just certain things that a hater do. You feel me?
Mhm.
By minimizing somebody else's success or progression.
It
You feel
was
me?
more so for me that I can be and I mean, just because I threw it in the fire don't mean it's totally gone. It
Right,
did,
right.
like I said, make me hyper more aware of when I do it again. And have I toned it down? Yeah, but I was more so talking about when I don't like somebody. That if I hear anything bad happening to them, or I'm just like, that's what they get,
Mm,
that's still hating.
definitely.
Now, not and then in that too, would I not as much celebrate a motherfucker's success if I don't like them? Yeah, I'll tone it down, and that's some hater shit. So I was really talking about that. Now my friends and the people I like, of course, I'm like bigging them up,
Right,
but
right.
I'm still a hater if I'm hating. Period.
I
So
definitely feel that. Um, I definitely want to know what's next. What is next? Because you got the filthy rich popping.
mhm.
Somebody need to invest. You feel me? So so we could get this mission pushed. Where my camera at? Somebody needs to invest so we could get these missions pushed and off the ground, so y'all could see real change, especially from somebody from the streets and doing the work, doing the groundwork. But what's next? Like, what is next for you?
So my healing circle is called Gut Healing Circle, gaining unity through transformation. And how Filthy Rich came about is because I'm trying to, you know, continue these efforts of conversations from the Nipsey inspired Peace March, and to sustain myself and get paid. Now that I've decided I will not work for another organization, I only do consulting work. Then I started doing the banana pudding so that I could take care of myself financially, you know,
Right.
and it kept me engaged with the community, because where I set my tent up is still in the hood, different hoods, and I get to engage with people, and then I get to funnel them into the conversation of the healing
Right.
circle. But my next thing is to my nonprofit organization that's over the healing circles is called WARFO. WARFOA stands for We Are Responsible for One Another. But the aim is to basically, for people to really understand what I'm trying to do is create a social enterprise, much like Homeboy Industries, which I definitely respect and love what they have done. Mostly involved over there is the Hispanic community, Hispanic gangs. So I want to do that for Black gang members, and our product will be coffee, because it's one of the largest commodities in the world, and I have a connect to a coffee farm in Africa, and I feel like it would be dope to connect Black gang members, the most lost people in the diaspora, to back to the continent of Africa, and we'll have coffee carts and coffee trucks and coffee every fucking where, and it'll be buy-in potential for the gang members to franchise and create their own businesses, and at the same time it's gonna be the healing aspect is the nucleus of it, and also peace training to assist people with being trained and advocating for the peace and its non-aggression agreement.
I remember
in their respective area.
I remember you talked about what was it? You wanted to take a trip, like
to Africa, to Ghana.
It was like the resort type thing though, with the gang members.
Oh yeah, so that's the first thing that I am. So what I'm doing right now, I'm basically cultivating the curriculum in the healing circle. I'm working with a professor over at LMU at Loyola Marymount named Michaela, and I met her through Dr. Cheryl Grills, which is one of my mentors in the healing circles. So my healing circle is connected to a bunch of different healing circles, like you see THC, the healing circle,
right?
A nonprofit called APUU, a nonprofit called TRP, the Reverence Project, which is led by Akila Sherrills, one of the people involved in the 92, the Truce and Nine Deuce and all of that. And it's called the South LA Healing Circles. It's under a community safety initiative of Marquise Harris Dawson's. And so sometimes they fund our healing circles. It's off and on. It's been a pilot since 2019. And, they basically give us resources to do the healing circles when they get it. But yeah, I'm getting my curriculum together so that I could have 100 handpicked gang members that I take on a retreat, and we just do like an accelerated, intense version of the curriculum.
I think it's vital, honestly, because I feel like that part would be like the butterfly effect. They will go in one way, and they'll literally come back. Some people haven't left this state. Some people ain't left this continent. So they'll literally come back with a different outlook on the streets, on each other, especially if they form a bond while on that retreat. I definitely, like, even in my my Big Brother program, right? I want to teach them conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Before they get to the age to where it's like, I'm impulsive, I'm about to just snap. You feel me? Like, I want to teach them that, because we need that. We need that a lot. Even grown men need that. You feel me? Because we get impulsive, especially when you got, like, we used to call them pump up artists. Like, I used to instigate. I used to instigate one time. It turned on me like, nigga, what you? And I'm like, oh, now I gotta do. You feel me?
Perform.
So yeah, I learned. I still do it, but minimum. I'm minimum with it. You feel me? I just got to test you one time. But yeah.
No, yeah, but my aim with the healing circles, the pop-up healing circles that me and my partner Raven Morgan do, is to kind of like bring the retreat to the hood, like just popping up on niggas, because everybody can't and ain't gonna go, to the retreat. Right. And I only have so many slots reserved, as financially. And so I want to bring that that they won't leave the sameness to them.
But you know what though? Sometimes, like, people have a FOMO, fear of missing out. If you take the first group and then they come back and tell them about it, they like, I'm a soften up and I want to experience this. You feel me? Like,
yeah, and not even just a fear of missing out. Like when you are connected to certain people, like these people who I'm gonna take, they close to some people that ain't gonna come. And if people see something in them, then
exactly,
it just kind of like
exactly.
spill over. But I'll be studying this Marcus Garvey 100 monkey theory type thing where it talk about like the transfer or like the translation of things and how it can grow from this point of like 100 people, and that's how I landed on it being 100 people. But
All right. So one of my last questions, right? Because I remember you told me, but being from the streets and being from the section you from, right? Is it hard to infiltrate other areas, other section gang members? Because I remember you wanted to do a healing circle at a park, and they was like, "Nah, you can't do it over here."
And then that go back to what I'm saying that I think that what's the real connection, especially nowadays, because shit's so rinky dink beyond your hood and where you from, is that it's like this for real niggas. Like real niggas be like craving each other, like, oh, y'all over there? Well, I don't care where you from. Like, you a real nigga? Cause I all these suckers in my set. So, a real nigga, a real person is not gonna zoom in on that. I'm saying, even if you active, come to this park and get some of this workforce development opportunity that they got over here.
Right.
And hear active niggas and it sparks something in they big overgrown ass that say, oh, I need to flex. Ain't nobody coming to the hood, but you supposed to be somebody who is bringing something higher and more to your section and just, this realm of black gang members. You gonna say, look at her trying to do this. If you got some type of influence, you gonna tell your homies like, it ain't
Right.
It ain't no bullshit. Like she trying to do something.
Yeah.
But when you a whack motherfucker,
you want to flex.
Then you want to flex. And we could all flex because it ain't no gender to flexing.
Facts.
And anybody who know me know that. So but I'm not gonna let nobody.
Y'all seen the real nigga come out of her.
I'm not gonna let.
She looked me in my eye like it was me that told her she can't come to.
But I'm just saying, it ain't no gender to it, and but I choose to spend my time helping my people versus hurting them.
Right.
Whether that's arguing with a nigga or, getting physical, but everybody think that they the toughest and that they the only one tough. And that's wrong move number one.
Right.
And that's what they be doing. And like I say, ain't none of us really this tough. We all tired of taking losses. And
that shit is defeating.
Right. And I be telling the homies, like, they be like, man, it's good you doing that. But we ain't really fucking with that. And call us when shit don't go your way. I'm like, why I'm gonna call you when shit don't go my way? If you got that for me, why you don't have it for me before it go the wrong way and help me make it go the right way?
Right, right.
But I tell them all, like, you gonna be ready for what I'm talking about, me and other people who talking about this, when you taking your last breaths on the ground or your peoples or, oh, I done been shot before. I ain't scared to die. Yeah, until you actually die.
Right.
And your ass looking around and don't see nothing your ass familiar with. And you looking dumb as fuck. And you realize you wasn't as tough as what the fuck you was acting. A lot of people realize that they ain't that tough now, though, before they die. But they just,
Yeah, they start fading to the back. Like, y'all can have that.
Right.
But lastly, I want you to tell your target audience.
But to answer your question, no, it's not hard to penetrate other hoods, especially when I'm just linking with real niggas from everywhere. And that's real easy to do because game recognize game and
Facts.
We recognize each other.
Facts.
And it don't be nothing. They could be from an immediate worst enemy hood and it just be and we know because we brave enough to do that. We don't care what our homies think or question us about fucking with somebody from over there because we got a different mission and we focused on that.
Right.
Yeah, we ain't scared.
That's brave work though, and I really commend you for it. Because everybody won't take that, be on the forefront of it. They'll come after, people like even that's with products or anything. I'm not gonna try this new product first. until a couple people do it, and then it's like it's a book called Start With Why. That's like one of my favorite books right now. It's a book called Start With Why. And it's dope. And it talks about that, but it's product driven. But I want
social engineering.
Yeah. I want you to tell your target audience, like give them a word, which is the street culture, the gang members, gang bangers. Give them a word of a mission, something to spark their mind. Like if they was here right now and you wanted to have that thought-provoking conversation, what would you say to them? Because they definitely listening.
I think that
you can look at it.
I'll wait. Which one?
Right. Oh,
okay. I always think about like, you in my section we call like, you know, busters or weirdos yees, and I always think that, you know, if I'm trying not to look like a yee, that probably mean I'm a yee because I give a fuck and I'm being moved by, you know, outside opinions and shit. So if you in your private thoughts know that you are not saying or voicing some shit because you don't want to be looked at as a yee, then you're a fucking yee. And yeah, you already not what you trying to look like anyway. And the codest is that your thoughts or your beliefs behind those thoughts are probably not yeeness. Like it's just your true self shining through. Like that's your brave self, not that weird unnecessary hurting somebody and acting like you want to go out and risk it all for people who you care less about than the people who gonna be sad when something happened to your dog ass. You know, just I don't know. I just raise up to think your own fucking thoughts and stop trying to win a popularity contest that you'll never win because it fizzes out real quick, especially when you go to jail or die. And I don't know. And two, I operate based on, I think a lot. I make decisions based on like what I think will be important to me. Like when I'm taking my last breaths, like will I be happy or proud of myself by having done that? Like, so even small decisions, I think about shit. Like I just really understand how precious life is. So
what do you want to be remembered by?
Helping motherfuckers. I want people to know my drug of choice is helping people, helping black people in particular, but people overall, then black people, and then black gang members. I just want to be known for helping. I don't really care about being known for no tough, unnecessary ass shit. I want to be remembered and known for my good deeds.
Give it up for Mother to Tanya.
Yep, you fucking ain't right.
All right, man. That was another episode of Expert at Failing. I hope y'all enjoyed it.